What's good, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? JDaisy here with the JDaisy Gaming Channel, here with Colder Waters. This is a Cold War era submarine type shooter type management type game. This is a very interesting game. It's a game that you can play one of two ways. Yes. You can either play it casually, like me, or you can play it seriously, like half the people I see play it. It's kind of it was a little known game. The people that play it are really good at it, and then there's people like me that have no idea what the hell I'm doing. It has a lot of depth to it. I've watched a few videos on other people playing it, and oh my gosh, this game just has so much more depth to it than I can put into it. So this video will probably be very short. I'm on their Steam page, and I just noticed that their only description is spiritual successor to the Micro Ops classic Red Storm Rising. It's all the description you get. It is $39.99 on Steam. It came out June 5th, 2017, so it's very new. And as you can guess, you are a submarine, and you control it. Yes, I'll give a little more detail than that. It has very complex controls. It has very complex and in-depth menus and options. It boasts that, and I've seen other people to confirm this, that you can control other subs. I am so fresh and new at it that I've never been able to pilot anything other than the one basic sub. It does have a campaign that you are a sub in the Atlantic during the Cold War era. So you're going and intercepting, or trying to intercept cargo ships and bases and other submarines. For me, that just means trying to get somewhere that I think is where I'm supposed to be going, and then getting attacked by a submarine. I have downed a few, don't get me wrong. I'm not just a giant hunk in the water. I have, so even a novice like me can figure this out. But there's a whole nother layer. This is like on the layer of what was that game? Iron Heroes, was that it? Where it can be played as a very basic game, but it has a whole nother level of depth that I don't even know where to begin. I have too many things on my plate to start reading wikis and YouTube videos on it. But if you're looking for a very serious and a very detail-oriented game, and I must say that the submarine genre is a very scarce genre to kind of be touched on in the war type games. And there's kind of a reason why. There's a lot of the game is just when you are actually playing at the submarine, not in the grand map of the campaign, you are just kind of a tube floating in the water. I know that just describes submarines, but there's not a whole lot of action going on. It's just, you know, hearing pings and stuff going off, and but it gets really exciting, you know, when all these missiles or torpedoes are coming in, and you know, if you're me, you're really shit at the game and you don't know where the fuck they're coming in from. They're just coming. The game punishes you for not knowing what the hell you're doing. It really does. You'll just be pinging and pinging and pinging, and you're like, how are they telling me I'm 400 meters down? I'm 800 meters down, and you try and fire, but your torpedo tube gets clogged up, because if you're me, you didn't realize that you had to come to a certain speed before you can fire, and then, you know, it's really kind of fun for me anyways. The funnest part is, you know, these two torpedoes were coming in, and I just barely moved my sub, and they just went swinging by my conning tower, and I was like, oh god, that was close. So I mean, even for a casual player like me, it does have a couple redeeming factors of it. It is fun. But there is a very level of depth in here to really get to the meat of the bone. You know, to actually play the game properly, you have to actually devote a little time to this. And I think at $40 is a little high. I'm sure if you were the person that puts in the time and the effort, that this is a good game for $40. And I don't know how long the campaign plays for. Some people that I've seen play it, you know, get some time out of it. But even if it's a decently long campaign, there's not a whole lot of depth, I think, to it. Pun slightly intended. So I think at $40 it's a little overpriced. Maybe $30 would be a more accurate price. So maybe try and wait for it on a Steam sale. would be my personal recommendation, unless you really do like naval depth games. If you, and this, if you're watching this footage and you're going, wow, I mean, it is gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. Even when it's just rendering just you going through the water, it looks like something out of a screensaver. And when you pop out of the water and you're putting up all your towers, it is gorgeous. It could be kind of neater to actually have more stuff on the surface or on the ocean floor. It's just barren sand. As someone that's never really been diving, you kind of expect a little more, kelp or something. And the tutorial does its best, but it could use a whole nother layer, I think. There could be another, it does have advanced maneuvers, but it still is a lot of big words and a lot of stuff that, it's one thing to have a tutorial that's hand-holding, but it's another thing to have a tutorial that just gives you too much to bite into at a time. You need that to kind of find that happy medium, and I think that it does all right, but it could use a little refining. So yeah, if you're somebody that this footage, you're just watching and you're going, wow, that just looks amazing. Good for you. Go for it. This, as someone that really enjoys naval history and stuff, this is a really cool game. It is historically accurate. Every ship is meticulously built, and every submarine is meticulously built. So there is some love behind this. Don't get that short description wrong. There is some love behind this, and they are updating it. But for me, it's a very detailed game that I just don't have the time to sink in. But if you do, good on you. $40 is what it's currently selling at. Personal suggestion: wait for it on a Steam sale. But as always, you can disagree with me. Feel free to leave it down in the comments box, or on Twitter or Instagram, Patreon. I don't care. As always, we're all in this together. See you in the next one.